Going to my neighbors and we're hanging up permanent outdoor lights. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are hanging up some permanent outdoor lights by a company called Asahom. A-S-A-H-O-M. Now, I have not heard of this manufacturer before. They reached out to me and asked if I'd like to review their product. I said, absolutely, let's do it. So, going across the street to the neighbor's house, and we're gonna hang some up on his eaves, see how they look, test out the app, go from there. First up is the unboxing, but before all that happens, don't burn the house down. What? Whoa! Ah! First things first, time for everyone's favorite segment, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
All right, inside the main box, I'm a betting man, I would say these are probably lights. Look at that, lights. A lot of clippies, holy cow, that's a lot of clippies. Lots of clippies, that's cool and helpful. So these are to help hold the cord up kind of in between the light strings. And then we have the actual lights themselves. Oh, these are cool. They're like a little star shape. Nice dome over top of them. These are really nice. They're bundled up, looks like sections of 2. So that'll be cool. All right, so pretty basic. Lots of clips, that's a huge bonus. Lots of screws if you want to actually screw these into your soffit if you don't have the aluminum siding. And it even comes with a rag. Look at that, to wipe off your surface before you apply them. Well, these folks at Asahom are, they're winning the game right now. This is pretty awesome. Look at that. Nice work, Asahom. Great packaging. Looks like a really nice product so far. Everything we need. And definitely some things that the competitors do not include, so this is a huge bonus. So, all right, let's go plug them in, pair them up to the app, and go from there. All right, so the first thing we did was we plugged it in. We've got a really nice location for the power right here inside the garage. You know, these power bricks, they say they're IP67 rated for water. I wouldn't test that. It does say rainproof, but you do not want this thing to be exposed to any sort of standing water. So if you can hide this inside your garage and just run the cable out, that's absolutely the way we want to do it. So I plugged them in, I put all the strings together to make sure they work. They're all flashing this really nice white color right now. Tells me that all these lights are on. They're going all the way to the end. So yeah, they're looking good. Now we're going to go into the app and we're going to make sure that we can get these things paired up. Okay, so we've gone into the app. It's automatically detected that there are permanent outdoor lights here, so we're going to click Add. Now, the previous scene had the Wi-Fi information, so I went ahead and cut that out. But what you will do is punch in your Wi-Fi password. You'll select the network that you want to add them to. And then, as you see on the screen here, they are being added. The lights have changed colors. The permanent outdoor lights are now showing added successfully. We're going to go to done. And it looks like it has an automatic software update or firmware update. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to select auto upgrade, confirm that, and update it. Got it. All right, so while this is doing the update, I will go ahead and cut the video feed. I'll come back here as soon as it's done. All right, so the app has updated the firmware on the device, and we're not going to go through too many of these right now because I want to show this after the sun goes down, but it looks like everything is working. Fantastic. So we're going to get these puppies hanging up on the house here. All right, so we're going to get installing these up here. Apologize for the noise. Seems like all the dogs in the neighborhood are going nuts and the neighbor just started mowing his yard, so apologize for the noise. But what I do is I take a little shim, or even just a credit card is about 3.5 inches, and that is going to be my spacer to get these away from the house. So we're going to start right here, which is going to be the very end of the soffit. We're going to take the rag that they supplied for us. I'm going to wipe right here, and I'm going to space this about as good as I can away from the house. And then we're going to take the backing off, just the 3M adhesive sticky backing here. Pop that guy off. Perfect. We're going to measure out. And we're going to go right there. Now I'm not starting this all the way on the end here because I don't want the cord to have to come all the way over here. I'm going to route the cord about right here. So we're going to stick that guy right there. The next light, same thing. Peel the backing off. Measure out against the house here. Wipe off. Just about right there. All right. So now that we've got the first two hung up, we're going to put a couple supports on here. So the little cable keepers here have adhesive on the back as well. We're going to pop that off. I'm going to situate this guy right here and stick it up there to hold that first light in place. This helps to kind of shoulder some of the weight from the power cable, so the power cable isn't going to be hanging down or having any problems. And then I'll put another one after probably the second or third light. After that, we'll probably do every 3 or 4 lights, so we'll add those. And that's just in case, for whatever reason, one of these guys pops off. But this 3M backing is really strong, so I really don't see that being an issue. But that's the beginning of it. Now we're just going to move on down the line and do the entire first run. I'll check back with you once we get that done. So I've added the supports every couple of lights. And if I happen to have a light that was spanning a gap, for example, this guy is going across that little ridge, that little gap right there, then I just put a support right next to that as well, just to make sure it's got enough support. Now, the nice thing about these lights is that when you come to the end of a run, you just screw in your next one, and that will actually be the perfect length. But like between this light and this light, it'll be the exact same length, even with the cable connection. The end of every one of these does have a cap on it. So if this happens to be the very end of your run, you're gonna wanna cap that off. But if it's not, these can kind of be in the way. So what I do is take a pair of snips and I'll just cut that little piece off. Make very, very careful not to cut your wire, but just give that a snip and get that off. That way this thing isn't dangling down if you don't need it to. So I'm gonna screw in another one right here before the mower comes around the corner. Keep moving. All right, so we got the lights hung up and we're about to fire them up in 3, 2, 1. And look at that. So when I click into the lights here, I'm immediately greeted with a kind of a standard screen where I'm able to set a single color, or I can set colors based on segments. So if I wanted to do a blue onto this segment here and this segment here, let's say alternating segments of blue and red, I can do that. Okay. I can also go just through the whites here if I want a nice soft yellow, soft white, very nice and dull. It's a great security light. Or I can crank it up. I really like the color card combination. The ability to do a color card on here gives you a few less choices to pick from, but these tend to be more of just your primary colors. So if you're kind of overwhelmed by the millions of colors on this card, you can switch over to here and pick a fewer combination. And then you do have a combination tab here, which automatically picks colors that are like each other, which is really kind of a neat touch. That's a nice one. Now the scenes tab right here, this is where I think these lights absolutely shine. There are multiple scenes in here. And if you watch my review that I posted just yesterday, actually, that was my biggest complaint about those lights, is they had very limited scenes. This one has all sorts of scenes in here. Right now we're on Christmas, but here's a Valentine's Day. Or sorry, this is Halloween. These are pre-programmed. All you have to do is click the button. This is Valentine's Day. Thanksgiving. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that my neighbor's house here, his siding is kind of like a tan with red trim. So some of these lights do get a little bit distorted, but it's obviously not the light's fault. This has a different mood. Here is Summer Pastoral. This is where you can kind of see some really cool different effects on these lights, as opposed to just being on or off. I don't know, this one says Profound. Okay. Love and Dream. These are really cool. Dream of the Sea. Ooh. Here's Father's Day. Okay, these look great. Here's Game, it says. Whew, okay, that's very... Holiday. Holiday is a little less punch into the senses. Fields of Corn, here we go. One of the things I really appreciate about these Asahom lights is that when I was dinking around with them earlier, I initially had all of these plugged in when I was testing them, but we ended up not using 2 strings because we just ran out of space. So the strand was set for all of the lights. And these patterns here, where they kind of go back and forth, they were off because it was trying to come from the other end of the lights that was 2 strings longer. So they were very, very off. I was able to go into the lights and find a setting, which I'll have to find it here again. I'll have to find it again. But there was a setting where I was able to basically reorient the strand to detect how many lights were plugged in. And once I did that, it gave me the ability to tell it, hey, this is how many lights are actually here. But all in all, these lights are absolutely breathtaking. They are just beautiful, and there are so many different scenes that you can play with on here. North. This one's called North. Firefly Night. That's cool. Maple Leaves. That seems to be a very nice fall color. Here's Summer, although summer is behind us now. But yeah, I've got to say, I think my favorite one so far that I found is Christmas. The Christmas one is just really cool. So these are going to make for some amazing lights for my neighbors here. They look great. The beam pattern is phenomenal. They're very, very easy to install. The shape of the lights is wonderful. I have nothing but good things to say about these lights. The lights are amazing. The app is amazing. The installation was easy. Asahom, you have got yourself a home run with these lights. This is an absolute home run product, guys. So if you are looking for permanent outdoor lights, I would 100% put these ones towards the top of your list. They are absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to set these to a nice soft white color. I'm going to turn it way down on the brightness. And there you go. Perfect little security lights. So final thoughts, if you couldn't figure it out already, I love these lights. Asahom, and I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. You guys have a dynamite product here, and these are absolutely magnificent. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or comments, or want to see anything different on these lights or my lights across the street, give me a shout. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.